If you're over 50 and your voice feels drier, rougher, less reliable than it used to, there's a good chance one of these three things is doing it. And actually, none of them is aging. A while back, I made a video about the 3 voice killers for older singers, and it turned out to be one of the most watched videos on this channel. And those 3 were about how you practice. These 3 are different. They're about what's happening to your voice the other 23 hours of the day with irritation, dehydration, and even medication. Even as a voice teacher, I've had to learn some of these the hard way. And by the way, if you're serious about keeping your voice strong as you age, I'm giving away a free PDF download of my best-selling book, The Mature Singer's Guidebook. It's packed with exercises and health tips specifically for singers over 50. Grab it at the link below. Voice killer number 1, clearing your throat. And this is one you do without noticing. That sound, and you've probably done it a few times today already. And you did it because you felt like something was sitting on your vocal folds. But here's what's happening when you actually do that. You're slamming your vocal folds together and blasting air through them at high velocity. It's a rather violent percussive event happening to the most delicate tissue. And in an older voice, tissue that's already thinner and drier than it used to be, it makes that impact harder. And here is why it's worse than a bad habit. It's a loop. You clear your throat, well, that irritates the tissue. And irritated tissue produces more mucus. And more mucus makes you feel like you need to clear. Around you go. Most students who tell me they have a mucus problem actually have a throat clearing problem as well. The mucus is part of the symptom. What to do instead? First, and I got this from a top celebrity ear, nose, and throat doctor. What you do when you feel like you need to clear your throat is this. This sound. It's kind of like fogging a window. And then tuck your chin and swallow. That will pull off the mucus better than clearing your throat violently. And you can always check and see if you really have gunk on your throat. Hold a falsetto note. Foo. If it's clear, your vocal folds are clear. Now, is that less satisfying than a good hard throat clear? Yes. But that satisfaction is the trap. That's the loop talking. Voice killer number 2 is getting hydration backward. Everybody knows singers should drink water. The killer is the timing. Here's what happens. Someone has a rehearsal at 7:30, and at 7:15, their voice feels dry and sticky. So they drink a big glass of water and expect it to help. And it doesn't, or at least not in the way they think. The water you drink never touches your vocal folds. It goes down your esophagus into your stomach, into your bloodstream, and then it hydrates your vocal folds systematically. That takes hours. Here's the rule I want you to remember. It's the 24-hour rule. The water you drink today is for tomorrow's voice. That glass at 7:15, that's not for the 7:30 rehearsal of the same day. It's for tomorrow's rehearsal, which means if you have something important coming up, the hydration work starts the day before. And this matters more after 50 for a few reasons. Tissue holds moisture less well than it used to. Your body produces thicker mucus, and thirst signaling gets less reliable with age. So you can be genuinely dehydrated and not feel thirsty at all. So what do you do at 7:15 for the 7:30 rehearsal if you need help right now? Well, you need to put moisture directly onto the tissue. There are 2 ways to do this. The first is steam, hot shower, bowl of hot water with a towel over your head, a personal steamer. Be careful with the hot water. Don't burn yourself. Don't get your face too close to it. And 10 minutes or so, you'll feel the difference, but even better. And this is the tool I get asked about a lot. This is a mesh nebulizer. And what this does is this takes sterile saline solution, isotonic solution, and turns it into a fine mist you breathe in. And because that mist is fine enough to stay suspended, it actually reaches the surface of your vocal folds. And that's the difference. Drinking water hydrates the tissues from the inside over many hours. Nebulizing puts moisture on the surface of the folds in just a few minutes. And for an older voice that's already dealing with hydration issues, this is the single most powerful piece of gear you can own. I use one every day throughout the day. And please, if you do this, use sterile saline only. It's 0.9% sodium chloride. It's isotonic solution. It's inexpensive. It comes in these single-use vials. Never use tap water, not filtered, not bottled, not distilled. Don't use water you pour yourself. It has to be sterile from a sealed tube. And don't put anything else in there. No medications, no essential oils, no additives, unless a physician has specifically prescribed it for you. So, drinking water is for tomorrow, steam and nebulizing are for today. And voice killer number 3 are medications. And I see singers who are convinced their instrument is failing when it's actually being dried out from the medications that they're taking. A lot of very ordinary medications have a drying effect. Antihistamines, allergy medications, some blood pressure medications, antidepressants, diuretics, decongestants, some inhalers. Now, please, do not stop taking a medication because of a video on the internet. I am a voice teacher. I'm not a physician. What to do instead? Have a conversation. Ask your doctor. Ask your pharmacist whether what you're on has a drying effect and whether there's an alternative that would work as well for you. Pharmacists can be enormously helpful with this. Sometimes there's a swap, sometimes there isn't. But at least you know what you're working with and you can compensate with hydration and nebulizing instead of assuming your voice is broken. Knowledge is the whole point. An informed singer can adapt. An uninformed singer just gets frustrated or even worse, quits. So to recap, it's irritation, dehydration, and medication. Stop clearing your throat. Use the and a swallow. Remember the 24-hour rule. The water you drink today is for tomorrow. Use steam or a nebulizer. And then go find out whether what's in your medicine cabinet is drying you out. All 3 of these happen to singers of all ages. But for the older singer, the effects are compounded more. And if you missed the first 3 voice killers video, it's right here on the screen, and I'd start there. Let me know in the comments which of these 3 you have a problem with, and we'll talk soon. Take care.